Ahmaud Arbery, killed February 23rd, 2020. Breonna Taylor, killed March 13th, 2020. And George Floyd, killed May 25th, 2020. What do all three of these wrongful deaths have in common? Keyword, being wrongful, wrongful deaths. Can you believe we are still talking about wrongful deaths of Black people in the year of 2020? Unfortunately, it's true. Unfortunately, Black lives still do not matter. You say they do? When do we matter? Do we matter when you need that one Black person to enter your educational institution so that you can gain federal or government funding for your school? Or maybe we matter when you need that one Black person to call your BFF so that you won't be called a racist. Or maybe Black people matter when you need that one Black female to be elected to the national or executive board so that your company can be called inclusive. Sorry, Royals. Unfortunately, in the year 2020, Black lives still do not matter. Why don't we matter? Because we still have, to this day, systemic racism that is upon us in this world. You are unsure what systemic racism is? Well, in a nutshell, it is basically a set of groups that still think they have privilege over another set of groups. Now that's just paraphrasing it, but Google it. Or better yet, check out this video that I have below in my description. I came across it and it explains systemic racism in under 5 minutes. I struggled to have a topic today because I wanted to make sure that I stayed within my MsQueenRo brand of representing life, career development, but I could not disregard what's happening in the world today. I am going to stay within my career development, workplace brand, and today's topic, I'm going to touch on how to represent the underrepresented group in the workplace. I'm going to give you 3 tips, or maybe even educate you on how you can represent the underrepresented group in your workplace. Number 1, look around. Look around the room and just observe what you see around your room. Maybe it's your team, maybe it's a meeting, maybe it's your whole company. Just look around. If you only see a certain amount of people, types of people, whether it's their color, gender, religion, whatever it is, sexuality, just look around and see. If you only have a certain amount of people working around you, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's an easy fix that you can do. Not being biased towards resumes. What do I mean by that? Hire a Jamal or hire a Shantae. Just because you see the name does not represent a culture or a group of people that you don't want to have represented in your team or in your meeting. Hire them, right? Don't be biased just because you see a certain name on a resume. A Jamal can be just as good or even better as a Todd or a Kevin or a Fred. Okay, remember that. Number 2, become a sponsor. I'm not just speaking of a mentor. There's a difference between being a mentor and a sponsor. A mentor is someone that will have your back, that will vouch for you, that will give you advice, that will give you guidance, and maybe even invite you to a few meetings or such. Someone that will just, basically, like I said, have your back when you need that person to lean on. But a sponsor will not only do the things that a mentor does, but that person will invite you to the high-profile meetings. That person will give you exposure. That person will forward you an email when they see a job posting come through and then vouch for you, go the extra mile by vouching for you to their boss or somebody else's boss to say, such and such is a good person. I would actually schedule them for an interview. That is a sponsor. Stop showing favoritism to certain groups of people because you are a part of that good old boy or good old girl network. Stop doing that. There are so many different types of people that are qualified or even more qualified to go to certain postings. Become a sponsor. Become a sponsor to any person, but especially Black people, because we don't have that many sponsors. We have plenty of people that will be our mentors, but when it comes to actually providing or opening that door for us, providing us a way in, we don't hardly have those type of people. We need more sponsors. Number 3, provide exposure. We have so many conference calls and large groups of meetings that we have that I've noticed in companies, and I don't see many representation of us. I'm grateful that many companies now are offering learning platforms, especially now because of the pandemic. So most of us are all virtual, and you have to keep us motivated and educated in different ways, especially because we don't have that face-to-face interaction anymore. So we're doing things like having panel discussions or having virtual educational meetings. But unfortunately, I don't see a lot of us as the panelists that's talking and educating me. Can I get the same education or same learning from the white person that's speaking? Of course, yes, I can. But how motivating is it? How impactful is it if I see a powerful or really impactful Black woman representing me, representing a lot of us, telling her story, telling how she worked her way up to the ranks? Because we all know it's easy for certain people to work their way up the ranks. Why? Because of systemic racism, because of people that you know can tell, you like that person? Yeah, go hire them. It's time out for the good old boy or the good old girl network. It's time out for that. We are tired, and we are tired of being silent when we are qualified, if not more qualified than our peers. I'm not saying that other people don't matter, because they do. I'm not saying that. I am saying Black lives matter too, especially in the workplace. I was reading an article on Forbes.com, and it stated if a company hires more diversity or becomes more inclusive, they are 19% more profitable when you have a diverse amount of opinions or diverse amount of people within the workforce. I didn't even have to read the article, but I could have told you that. I can tell you that my opinion matters, and I am really intelligent, and I can give you a different idea just like anybody else. Hire diversity, be inclusive, because Black lives matter. So today, I didn't mean to be this heavy. Actually, no, I did mean to be this heavy, because I want to educate, teach, however this message gets across, to show people that Black lives do matter. With me being in corporate America for 17 plus years, have I blatantly been called a name? Have I blatantly been discriminated against? No, thankfully I haven't. But you know what's just as worse, if not worse, than just blatantly being called something or being discriminated against? Is actually that under the rug type of racism. That racism that I didn't get invited to the high profile meeting that I should have been invited to. Or the racism that I did all the work, but you took credit for it. The racism that you invited my peer to the meeting, or you took them under your wing so that they can be mentored, sponsored, but I have way more tenure than them, and you didn't take me. Because I'm Black, because I'm female, whatever the reason, you didn't take me. That type of racism has to stop, especially in the workplace, whether you are corporate America, whether you're blue collar, wherever it is, it has to stop. We're tired, we're exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally, we're exhausted. Black lives do matter. One day, and I hope it's now, those of you watching this message will get that. If you're not following me, please do MsQueenRo, where you will be enlightened, empowered, and entertained sometimes with life, career, and even travel development. Click that subscribe button. Join me and many others with the movement. I would love to have you on this journey. I would love to have you on this royal journey. Please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and now YouTube. Take care.